Okay, hello and welcome everybody. Now we're officially started. This is Kathryn Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and whoop, whoop, this is the 888 Lionsgate Command Your Activation event. Welcome, welcome everybody. The energies have been at work, and it feels almost cliche because in my family, we're all very psychically attuned and we're emotional. And in fact, my teacher, Sarah Lovejoy, said, you know, your family doesn't have that many fights out loud. It's always kind of on the undercurrent. You can hear the conversations and the stuff going on. And so we have had a whole bunch happening. And I sent out an email today just kind of describing how the energies have been. And we're going to talk a lot about the energies and then how we can use them in this special energy tonight for the activation. I do want to mention, if for those just coming on, if you will look in the chat here on Zoom, you will see the link, the PDF for the action guide, right? So got a couple of little exercises in there, and we're going to be talking about them, okay? So what are we doing? What the heck's going on? We hear so much. I mean, if you're on social media at all, and I'm probably on TikTok way too much, but everybody's pretty excited about this Lionsgate event that happens once a year. And why is it so important? Sandy, if you will roll up a bit in the chat, you'll see a PDF. I will go ahead and post it again. Let me drag it on there. Now, of course, as soon as I said that, I can't see it in my, okay, here it is. I'm going to put it in the chat box again. There you go. Why is everybody excited about it? Well, this particular time of year, when we're moving into the season of Leo, there's a particular astrological configuration that happens the sky, and this is called the Lion's Gate. So we have the Leo energy plus this particular alignment. And we're going to be talking more about that. We're going to talk about why is it an activation, and we're not just doing a lovely meditation. Now, the reason we're doing an activation versus a meditation, I'm just going to go ahead and address that right now. When we're in a meditation, we are very passive, we are getting the imaging, and we're connecting our emotions with what the mental images that we are seeing. Normally in meditation, we are focusing our attention, and a lot of times it can come into stillness, but sometimes we want to get into a problem-solving mode. There's a lot of reasons to go into meditation. This is what we're going to be doing could be considered more of a visualization, because we're going to be using your eyes to access different brain waves. I'm really excited about the brain waves we're going to be talking about tonight, because I've never got to talk to them about this way. But we're literally going to be directing your consciousness intentionally, and we're going to be raising the vibration with the intention to activate and turn on these abilities that are latent and waiting. And we're going to be doing it at the DNA level. We're going to be doing it where we feel it mentally. We're going to be going into the embodiment. This is a very powerful process, but it's so gentle. And I want to just let you know that right now, it may feel gentle when we do it. You may or may not feel anything initially. Don't worry about your feelings. I'm just going to ask you to take it on faith that this is absolutely happening. And it's happening below your awareness. And so for the next few days after doing this, you may feel your emotions may be heightened, or you may feel sleepy, or you could feel a little numb. But this is just a temporary thing that's happening, while what's happening is your whole energy system, your brain is reorganizing. So this is very powerful. And the way I experience it when I'm done processing, it's almost like an energetic oven ding, like ding. Oh, okay, I feel better now. What was that? And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about how to get the most out of tonight's event. A lot of times we have these beautiful meditations. We do the one command circle every Tuesday, and people always report that they felt this shift. They could feel the energy. They felt the release. But what we don't often have is an exercise afterwards to where you could direct your thoughts and start training yourself to think a new way and to start meeting your negative programming and doing this intentionally. So I'm going to be sharing with you how we can do that. And the answer is in your workbook. We are going to be actively healing and opening the heart chakra. The time of Leo rules the heart, but also it's the spine and the spleen. So it's this upper kind of thoracic area, and there's smaller chakras in this area, but it's particularly in the heart chakra area. Okay, and then we're going to talk a little bit about DNA activation. What is it? Why does it matter? And how in the world could we do that? And then we're going to be doing some timeline jumping. And we're going to be addressing levels of consciousness. And then we're going to talk about how the heck can we do all of this in 2 hours? Because it's a lot. Plus, we're going to have a little break before we do our deeper meditation. And then we're going to talk about how to use the one command to raise your consciousness. And I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. I have my intention on what it is that I want to create with you. But I also know that a particular thing happens when a group of people get together and something new is created. And in the circles and different meetings, I said, like, my gosh, you guys are pulling something out of me. So what I'm going to set as an intention, and what I believe is happening too, is that we're doing consciousness work. We're doing consciousness work on the planet. And as we do our work, we're healing ourselves, but also our family, and we're doing our part to raise the vibration. There are a lot of people offering activations, meditations, doing rituals, doing a lot tonight, and it's about taking us into this next level of consciousness. And it's happening. I mean, it's almost like you could almost feel a switch got flipped. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and then I'm going to share something new. Let me see if I can get here from there. I just want to look at the manual with you right quick. Come on, open, open. It's okay. We can do it together. Let me get to this. In the manual, we get here. Oh, hey, Layden. Let's see who else made it on. Layden, you are holding the space for all of the guys in the world. You don't mind, do you?
Love being with beautiful ladies.
Yeah, you don't mind. You got this. Let me find a new share. I don't know if I can get here from there, but we're going to try it. Okay, so pardon the ugly screen for just a second. Let me open this. And my impossibly slow computer, but you get to see all my messy ways I do things. And then we're going to present. There we go. Isn't that picture gorgeous? I saw that and it was like, yeah, that's the one. That's the person. So I just want to mention in the handout that you have, and it's located in the chat. I have a question for you before we get started on anything, and it's, what do you want to get out of tonight's session? This is the first thing, because this is so that at the end of our time together, I'm going to ask you, did you get what you came for? And you'll know. So we want to bring that into our conscious awareness. Hey, Joanne, the handbook is in the chat if you can scroll up. If not, I will get it back to you. I think I'm almost having to, There we go. Leslie shared it. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate your help on that. Okay, so if you could take a minute, and if you can't write it down, if you're not where you can write it down, please be sure and write it down. And what that would look like. So a lot of times with folks, they go, yeah, I want to change. Well, if you changed, yeah, like you tell your mind you want to change, it's going to bring a whole bunch of stuff. But we've got to focus our attention and be intentional about it. So what result do you want to have at the end of our time together? Then we are going to be asking, what do you want to manifest the next year? But it's not time to do that yet. Okay? So I just wanted to mention that to you. Let's get that question answered for you right away. Okay? Let me come into this. Now we'll go back to our, there we go. Oh my God, I actually was able to share that. Okay, so what the heck is this symbol? Isn't it beautiful? This is a double infinity sign. And this is the sign of fulfillment. And this is, do you see this? Like there's the past, but it's as above, and then there's this ordinary reality going side to side, and this is our connection to source. And this is the symbol for fulfillment, even though it's two, not perfection, because there's no such thing in human form. But if we thought about it, everything's perfect, right? But we want to just hold this, that this is almost like a greater intention of what's happening. That because of your spiritual connection, your ordinary world, let me see, your ordinary reality is balanced. Let's say that again. We have the up and down. Now I just want you to hold this idea. So right now, just as you're here and now, just close your eyes for a second. Take a breath. Settle into your body. You've got some cares and worries. You've got some things that, yeah, a lot of stuff you have to take care of today, a lot of stuff that's going to be on your mind for tomorrow. But right now, let's just agree that all things are working together for your good. And in this moment, there's literally nothing you need. And now just allow that energy to expand out. Now bring your attention back inward towards your heart. Now, I don't know if you're like me that can track the energy of a group, but as I'm tuning into you, I am aware that everything just calmed down, and I could feel us all kind of coming into an assembly, even though we're in different places in the world, literally in different time zones. So I want to talk about how we can just very quickly get the most out of this. Number one, close all your tabs. I've turned off my phone, and I hope everybody who wanted to buy was able to buy soon enough. And if not, I'll send them a recording. If you can't, then put your phone on mute or turn it off. Do the class exercises. I want to invite you to do them to the degree that you're able to, but I would also say listen to the replay and do them again. Like allow yourself to really have the space to think about it and be in the feeling about it, and then practice the principles that you learned. So if there was something that's going, aha, or you go, yes, that, I like that, then make the decision that, let's say in the next week, between now and next Thursday, that you would practice this. And what would that look like? Well, if you've been in my circle long enough, you've heard me tell a story about how I had the decision to be at peace with whoever I meet. And I mean, I'm not really a Karen. I don't get into fights in places. I don't really have a lot of scuff, but I am from a part of town in Texas and near Dallas called Pleasant Grove. And we were called Grove Rats. Okay. And so I've got a scrappy girl in me. And part of my response to fear or challenges, I don't run. I don't have, I don't, in fight or flight. When we're fearful, fight or flight, I'm a fighter. And so I knew I was coming up with a lot, but it just seemed like a lovely exercise. And I had a situation, and I don't want to go into everything that got there, but it was just kind of like it was a spur of the moment thing. Wound up at my ex-boyfriend's house because he was helping me with something, and it turned out to be his ex-wife's house. And as soon as she saw us pull in, she was out. She was out there. And when he saw her, he took off and went and got in the truck because we were supposed to be there picking up a trailer is all that was happening. We weren't doing anything dramatic. We weren't even dating. He just was helping me out as a friend. This woman walked out into the street and started yelling and screaming and cursing at me. And I didn't have the thought, oh, I'm going to be peaceful with everybody. I just noticed that as she's yelling and screaming and cursing at me, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't mad. I wasn't waiting for my chance to tell her the next thing. I was completely peaceful. And she's yelling and screaming at me. And then it was kind of my turn to talk. She was quiet. She looked at me and said, yeah, I can understand that you're upset, but really what I want is just peace to be between us. And then in my mind, I'm going, what the heck was that? Who the heck was that talking? What was that? And then she started yelling and screaming again. And again, I'm still like, what is going on? Because I was actually more perplexed with how peaceful it was. And I actually felt love for her. And I felt no judgment. And, my scrappy girl wasn't scrapping. She was quiet. She was peaceful. And then she was quiet again and said, no, I get it. I could see why you would be upset. It was never my intention. I just want you to know that I love you. And then she started off again. And in the middle, she literally went, and she got kind of this dumb look on her face. She said, I don't know why I'm yelling at you. I love you. And then she stepped forward and gave me a big old hug. And I hugged her right back. And my cowardly ex-boyfriend's in the truck, and he's looking, watching in the rearview mirror because I guess he's trying to plot his escape. And I saw him kind of go like, what? What happened? And I'm like, I don't know what happened. That's what I'm talking about. If there's a principle that you're meeting and go, I want to be peaceful in all things, and you've made that decision, and it would be, if I were peaceful, what would that look like? How would I know? Right? And I didn't really spend a lot of time. In fact, after making the decision about being peaceful, I found myself being in gratitude, and I started thinking about every single person I knew, and I was being grateful and just sending, I love you. And then the universe always has a way to show you where you are in your lesson plan. Okay. So we have got a whole bunch of energy going on, right? We've got a bunch of energy flying around, and it's super intense right now. And please remember that there's no such thing as good energy or bad energy, but we might think of higher vibration and lower vibration. We may think of energy fields that we go, that doesn't resonate with me. That's a signal to me that it's time for me to shift my vibration. And that takes a lot of practice, because again, there is that part of you. I'm going to just let you know that my inner Grove Rat is meeting and greeting your inner Grove Rat. And we all have that ego part. We all got that scrappy part. But unfortunately, we don't necessarily turn it out to the world. We turn it into ourselves, and we argue with our reality. We argue with our situation, and we try to figure out what's right and wrong, rather than allowing ourselves to be at peace and allow ourselves to connect to that greater part and navigate us through. Byron Katie says when you argue with reality, you're always going to lose. And there's been a conflict in my family between two family members. And they both kind of want me to be on sides. And I'm just like, I see both parts, but I just want you to know you've got to decide what you want out of this. Now, if you want to fight and be right, I support you in that. But really, if you get real to what it is you both really want out of this, I'll be happy to talk to you about it. And I've never been able to talk to my family like that. But I also know that right now during this period, everything that needs to be released in order for us to heal and move forward is coming up, including old regrets and resentments and those unfinished arguments, all those open loops, all that heavy energy. Okay, so please just be aware of it and know that you always have the power to shift it. But the best way to do it is to make a decision about what do you want instead. Rather than judging it as good or bad, that's the question. What do I want instead? So in your book, we do have a little exercise of let's set our intention. Okay, remember I had the intention of being at peace. I redirected and helped my family members say, hey, let's get out of this intention of winning a fight and shifting it into really focusing on what's important and what you both want. And then let's figure out how you can both get it, because that does exist. And you can acknowledge any wrongdoing, right? But we're going to set our intention. And if you did have your book, it's right under, it's that question number 2. And the way that it's set up, I'm going to have to open the PDF on my page. Just a second. Let me open it. Okay. Let me go ahead and open that up. But basically the statement is, it's at the Lionsgate next year, this time next year, what do you want to manifest? And I'm going to go ahead and let you take a few minutes and say what you want to manifest. And take a minute to write that down, because this is going to be important before your after workshop piece. There it is. Does everybody have their handout? Okay, the question is, what do you want to manifest in the next year? Complete the statement. It's August 8, 2025, and in the past year, I have manifested the following. I'm going to watch the timer. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes on that. Guess what? You can't choose wrong. If you decide to look at that later and you want to go back and shift it, you can. But we're going to just do it as the exercise tonight. Has everybody got their part filled out, or who needs another minute? Just kind of give me a thumbs up. All right, y'all, go ahead and take another minute. Hey, Carmen. Let's see, we have Maya, Sweet Leslie. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Who's saying hello?
That's Carmen. Hi.
Oh, hello, Carmen.
And there's Michelle somewhere.
Oh, hi, Michelle. Hey, guys, be sure and text me Michelle's email address or message me with it so that I can send her the recording, okay? All right, later, not now. We'll give it a couple of more minutes. Now, we've done exercises like this before. We've done this. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Part of what we're doing tonight is so that you can become the person that you are embodying the person that one has the power to create this, but also everything that you've written here is going to be the evidence that you are that person. We get hung up on wanting the thing. Remember, like I talked about the family members, they're like, there's this, no this, and we have to do that, and don't do that, but you better do this, right? That back and forth. And we do that, our ego and our little self, and then we're yelling at the universe. We do this. This is us as humans, right? The way to think about it is that you are creating a butterfly garden. You are the master gardener, and you're creating a butterfly garden. And a butterfly garden doesn't go and it doesn't save up money to go buy butterflies. It doesn't do the research about the best butterfly. It doesn't do any of that, right? What it does is it creates the environment that attracts the butterflies. It creates an optimal atmosphere. And so what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you are the creator, the observer, and the experiencer of your reality. And when you're confident that when there's something, when you go, you know what, it's time to put a fountain in at the butterfly garden, you're not going to be worried about where the money is. You're going to be focusing on where should the fountain go? Let's get the ground ready. And you're just going to start naturally taking those actions. And everything that you need, it's almost like the tools appear just about the time you need them. Okay. So now we're going to, now, if you are not familiar with the one command, I'm just going to walk you through. We are going to create a simple one command statement. And then I'm going to kind of help you through it. But if you think about what it is that you want, so when you look at everything that's on your list in number 2, it might be, I want investors, I want a new house, I want X amount of money in my bank account, I want to see these kind of clients, I want my body to be healthy, right? I want to experience going on a beautiful vacation. You have all of that, right? So let's simplify all of that. What would you call that lived experience of having all of that? Hey, I want freedom. I want ease. I want a life of abundance, right? What would you call that lived experience of being one who has all of that manifested in their life? Pop your answer in the chat. I want to get some of your feedback. Do you know what I'm asking when I'm asking that? What do we call that? What do we call that lived experience? Like if you have manifested, if you're someone who manifests, you're the creator, and you're manifesting being debt-free, having more than enough money, having amazing experiences, the ability to help someone. We have all these separate things on a list, but if we put them all together, what would we call that lived experience that you're creating? A life of financial abundance and freedom. Thank you, Layden. Lenora says peace. Go ahead and take a minute. What are you actually creating? And all of those are just the elements. You want to create a garden, you might say, well, we have the flowers over here, we've got the vegetables over there, we've got a little bench over there, right? We've got my little fountain over here, I got the little bubblers, I got the little blowers, I got the little globes, right? Oh, I made sure that I bring ducks in to the garden so that they can eat all the bugs. What do we call that experience, though? We say, hey, I'm a gardener. I'm living in a garden. So go ahead and type your answer in the chat. This is interactive. Yeah, it's hard to think about that. You know why, if you're having trouble? It's because your core identity is somebody who lacks that. You are used to having the experience of struggle. Joy and beauty, yes. Gratitude, that's right. We could say it's fulfillment. We could call it, hey, I'm living a life of purpose, on purpose. Feel at ease, and I know I can have everything. So you're creating ease, a life of ease, right? So your command, Sandra, I feel at ease and know I have everything I need or want. So right now, let's focus on that first thing, because you have the feeling of being at ease and that knowing. So your command would be, I don't know how I live in a state of ease and knowing that everything is already provided for me. Layden had two. He said a life of financial abundance and freedom, and then his emotional state would be gratitude. So his command would be, I don't know how. I'm easily creating a life of financial abundance and freedom. I only know I am now. Lenora, I don't know how I'm creating a life. This one's coming in for you. I don't know how I'm creating a life of peace and joy. I only know I am now, and I am fulfilled. Okay, now I've got some worksheets later on in the book to help with formatting the command. Okay. But I've got a little piece that I'm going to share with you now that I don't have in the book. We do this a lot in our virtual commanding wheel circle. This was the first thing, because right now we have this sense of where we are now. We have a sense of where we want to be. And we have an idea of everything we're supposed to do to get there. In fact, we got a big long list of everything we're not doing. Or the other thing we have is, well, I know I can, but I don't think I can. So you don't have the identity, right? You don't have what we could call the inner positioning. Inside of you, you don't feel that truth. Your inner positioning, to where you're standing emotionally, is somewhere in the past. Or you're feeling disconnected from yourself, that you're not really even present to yourself here and now. Remember in the story I was going, when I said, hey, I want to live in peace. I want to have peaceful experiences with people. And then this woman's yelling, right? Well, what part of me showed up? The part of me that knew how to be peaceful. It literally felt like I was channeling something greater, but it was all me. What you're operating from is not that greater state of being, but it is a fear-based, ego-based part of yourself based on, a belief you have about yourself. It's like this story about a story about a story about a story. Right? And it goes on and on and on. And then, like, which part of that story are we going to nitpick to where we could prove that we are not worthy and that we haven't done enough to receive what we really want, that we aren't actually creators? We're having to react to everything that's happening to us, which is what the news and the world, like even our education system, everything's designed to cut you off and separate you from your own inner authority. Now, there may be good reasons. I'm not going to get into that. There could be a diabolical reason, But I think it's just the way the world works, so we can have a more homogeneous set of agreements, right? And for whatever reason, even what your family taught you was to keep you safe, so that you can know what the program is and get with the program, so you aren't run over by the big program machine. Okay, so if we could even say what the positive intention is, well, what we're doing in this Lionsgate period is the sun is shining on us, right? It is revealing the truth of who we are. That is intensifying. Let's see, I want to make sure everybody's muted. So we want to move into that embodiment. So what we do in the circle is, let's see if you can see with my tiny little hands here. All right, I'm going to stop the share for just a second. I hope that made me bigger so that you can see me easier. But there's 2 points, and go ahead and use your hands. There's 2 points. There's where you are now, and there's where you want to be. And we could just imagine, hey, it's somewhere out in the future. It's up here, it's down there. I'm going to hypnotize your right hand, which is the one that's waving around. And if you could just point to where, like this August 8, 2025, when you're in the fulfillment of every desire, you have absolutely manifested what you desire on your timeline, or just point to it in space. Where does it exist? Okay. Right now, everybody has a sense of what the future is, or someday. But unless we can get really clear on what it looks like, and we believe that we're the people able to manifest it or create it, it's just going to be a wish. No wishing tonight, but we're going to listen to our wishes and desires to get clues about the greatness of the truth within us. So I'm going to come back so I can see everybody. So I'm using my left hand for here and now, and my right hand for the future. So point to where, find your here and now with your left hand. And then with your right hand, find the future. I'm going to look on my internal calendar. Where can I locate August 8, 2025? There it is. Here's mine right here. Where's yours? Do we have it? Okay. So between knowing and not knowing. Why? I know what I want, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. Let there only be love. And now I want you to bring your 2 fingers together and drop. Take a breath. That's called a collapsing anchor in NLP. So right now, let's just test it. Do you know what else is happening? Anyone else is happening? You are pointing to a place inside your brain. It's like you're standing in the middle of your brain and you're pointing to the part of your brain that holds that key. And right now, what happened was there was no neuroreceptors connecting those. I know, this is a lot, but this is what happened. So right now, think about now, and now find again with your left hand, August 8, 2025, and everything on your list is manifested. So now, where is it? Does it feel here? Does it feel further away? Did it just simply shift? Go ahead and notice. Why are we saying between knowing and not knowing, let there only be love? Because you know what you want, but you don't know how you're going to get it. You know who you are now, but you don't know who you're going to become. And when we are using the love vibration, that's universal consciousness. That is the high vibration. This is the language and the vibration of the universe. So again, you might go, yeah, I might have some of it. Oh, things always happen. I don't know if I could have it. But think about it's August 8, 2025. And wherever that's located, find those 2 points between knowing and not knowing. Let there only be love. Ready? Bring them together. Drop your hands. Take a deep breath. Hey, guess what's going to happen? There is going to be something that rises up that's going to make you challenge and question whether or not you're worthy or able or even being realistic and wanting the things that you want. That's going to happen. And we're always afraid. We have a belief, but the universe sometimes goes, oh, is that what we're doing? Let me bring that closer. Do we have that fear? Let's bring that closer to you so you know where it is. Well, let's get rid of that today. So what always happens when you get close to getting what you want? Does everything fall apart? Does it suddenly get really hard? Well, you know, that is common for things to get a little tougher the closer you get to the line. Like if you've ever watched a football game, the most precious yardage is those last 3 yards, and they fight like hell. And you're going to be busting through your own resistance to get to the thing. Okay, and so what we're doing is we're eliminating that resistance. So let's go ahead. Hey, just right now, I want you to locate anything, which I don't believe there is, but if there is anything that could stop you, you might say, well, I'll get to it and I'll fuck it up. Pardon my language, but that's how we talk to ourselves, right? So find, if you could picture, visualize, or imagine anything that could possibly stop you from having what you truly want and desire, even your own self, even your habits, even your fears or your doubts, or the fact that maybe you got caught up in a situation, whatever it is, go ahead and find it. Locate whatever it is that could stop you. And it may feel like it's from the past, but when you go, oh, now this one's no fun, is it? Kathryn, everybody, everything was fine. We were playing make-believe and we were thinking happy thoughts, right? Never had a class like this. There we go. Go ahead. Let's find that resistance. Let's find that. There it is. There it is. Between knowing and not knowing. Remember that story I told you about this lady that's yelling at me, and somehow in the middle of that, I'm still peaceful, and I'm just telling her I only want there to be love. And I'm like, and I was perplexed between knowing and not knowing. Let there only be love. Now let's bring it together. And this time we're going to clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. I'm going to rub that up. Woo! Yeah, baby. We're going to bring that energy. And that the gate's already open tonight. I want you to send any resistance or fear, any doubt, anything that can stop you. Just send it right up. I'm going to send it out the door, out the gate. There you go. Here's the truth. There is nothing real or imagined from your past, your present, or could ever arrive in your future that can stop you from being the creator of an amazing life with everything that you've written on your list and more fulfilled. There's nothing. And if you believe that, and even if you don't, you just want to receive it, type in, I receive that now. Ooh, y'all getting me excited. Y'all are getting me excited. You receive it? Let's see it. I want to see those. Type in, I receive it now. I got to tell you who this is. I've been talking about, this is Rita the cheetah. We could not find a lion because tonight we're going to be doing some energy work. But my daughter gave me her cheetah, and this is Rita the cheetah, and Carolyn, my 9-year-old, loaned me one of her Build-A-Bear dresses, and this says love, love, love. Wait, can I show you something cute? Look at that! Look at that little tail. Is that adorable? Like, hello. So the reason I have this, if you've seen this thing kind of popping around, I'm going to be doing some energy work for the group tonight. I'm going to be doing some heart healing with Reiki. Okay, so that's coming up real soon. Hello, everybody. If y'all love stuffed animals, if you've got yours, you can bring it out. But that's Rita the cheetah. And thanks to my daughter Lauren for sharing that with me tonight. Who felt the energy shift? I'd love to get, any questions or comments about what we've just done. Let's see. And if you could just raise your hand, or actually you could just unmute. All right. Sandy, was that you that I saw that? All right. So we're all on board. You glad you came? Yeah, we got a lot already, right? Okay. So let me go ahead and resume the share. Let's get back to our regular scheduled program. I'm going to keep an eye on this, but I'm going to go through this next part a little quick because I want to be doing the activation at 8 o'clock. That's my goal. So you have probably seen that the Lionsgate portal is called the 888. And just for the sake of someone who hadn't been on TikTok or Facebook, this portal is an annual cosmic event, and it's occurring in August where the Earth, Sirius, and Orion are all lined up. And we have been having meteor showers and asteroids. Have you guys been seeing this? And this alignment is considered very potent, and this is a very powerful time for manifesting. Like, how long have people been thinking about this? Well, I don't know if you can see at the bottom of this picture. Do you see the pyramids? Then those line, this is at Gaza. And those three pyramids line up perfectly with the stars in Orion's belt. Okay, and so all of this is in the night sky. The other night, my granddaughter Maddie and I've got a van that has the sunroof. And I said, let's go see if we can go see some meteorites. We live out in the country, or in a small town next to the country. And we were able to get out, and she had this app, and I will share it in the comments when I send out the list. But on this phone app, it showed all the constellations, but it had like the pictures in the sky, and then it was directing us to where we could see all the meteorites. And we just got to lay on top of the van with looking up at the sky, and just that beautiful summer night. And I said, that to me, that's what summer is, the night drives in the summer. And she's been talking about that ever since we did that. But the purpose of all this is so that we can live with purpose and alignment with our own purpose. And I just want to invite you right now, you may have forgotten what your mission on the planet was. So right now, I just want you to put your hand on your heart. Because we get so caught up in all the stuff that we have to do. Just put your hand on your heart right now. Take a couple of breaths and just simply affirm, I remember why I'm here and what my purpose is. In your mind's eye, right now, I just want to invite you to become aware of the energy of those stars shining down on you, aligning with you as you align to them. And it doesn't have to be a big grand thing. You walking around being you, happy and fulfilled, brings a lot of healing to the world. You being true to yourself sets thousands of people free. Don't allow it to be diminished. It's important, no matter what you're producing in the world through your labor. You're so much more than your labor. You're so much more than the money you bring. You just walking around being you. The world is better. Breathe into that. That was my affirmation when I first moved to Seattle, was I remember why I'm here. Remember why I'm here. And the relationships, like the job that I got, I couldn't have landed in a better place. This was an apartment building that had like 11 separate buildings, and they all had, it was set up a little different than most apartment complexes because each building had their own building managers that took care of the building. And out of these 11 buildings, 6 were people who were spiritual teachers and healers. and like tarot readers, and they knew all kinds of things. They'd done work in all these different fields, and I couldn't have landed in a better university. I couldn't believe it, but they were the most loving, generous people, and the universe took me right there. But when I was there, I was so freaked out by how fast life had worked for me and how great life was going. I really was like, well, what's next? Because had been in survival mode for so long. And this is kind of the trick that the world plays on us. It's keeping us in survival mode. It's keeping us in this argument and mental discussion about lack, there not being enough, or what the government's doing. And those things could be important. Maybe we need to look at those things. But I also know that you have the power to create. You are very much like the biblical Jesus, that you could turn those 2 fish and the loaf of bread into enough to feed a multitude. That is the power that is already within you. Okay. And just keep affirming that. So the 888 is really August, which is the 8th month. We're on the 8th day in 2024. Those 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 equals 8. So this is 888, and this makes an angel number. And this symbolizes financial abundance and all of your work. And we can even say your life's work coming to fruition. Because I know I've been out here doing this a long time, since the late 90s, but I know I was doing spiritual work even in the 80s. I'm just a spring chicken. I don't know how I did it all. I started when I was born, but I've been doing that, but it is coming into fruition and fulfillment. And it's about embodying, and this is the word, embodying the positivity and the confidence to manifest your desires. Now, we might call that embodiment faith. Like, hey, I have faith, but I can have trust because of knowing who you are, not because of how you perceive the universe. That you do have that power. But there is extra help surrounding us. There is a team that is surrounding us and protecting us. And I don't really want to go into that because there's so many different belief systems around that. But you do have invisible help that is surrounding you energetically. There's the ancestors, there's your particular guides, there's people, there's the teams that work to help bring forward the consciousness of humanity. They're all on high alert, and they're all on the job for you. Now, right now, there is something called a communication angel. And that communication angel brings everybody together for a particular reason. And I really believe that there's no mistake in the particular group of people that might come together for a moment. One, we might be matching in the vibration, but also I believe as far as we're doing the work. So as we're getting our healing, our activation, we're creating it for thousands and thousands of people. And so it's no mistake about how we've been brought together, okay? And it's absolutely perfect. We are going to be talking about the energy body. I did mention that I have to laugh, but what we're really going to be focusing on is the heart chakra, because that is ruled by Leo, but we're actually getting an activation that's going all the way from the heart up to the throat, all the way to the crown. Now, we don't have to worry about these lower energies, because if you can see it on the monitor, if you look at the symbol for the heart chakra, it's 2 triangles. One points above, one points up, one points down. This is so that it can balance all of the energies. It's the heart chakra that balances everything. And this regulates compassion, connection, love, and safety. But if we're in a disconnect, if we are feeling separated, like if our heart chakra is blocked, then there's a feeling of disconnect, hopelessness, and rejection. I went through a period where I was really dealing a lot with my liver. I didn't realize how much trouble I've had. I mean, I took 2 years off of work, and I didn't realize how much anger and resentment I was still carrying in my body. But I also was noticing that I was feeling a lot of hopelessness. Like, what the heck am I going to do? What else do I have to say? Right? I feel like I've said everything I can do, and I don't know what's next, right? I just felt like I was kind of used up. I'm not gonna cry when I talk about that, but it was really hard. Well, guess what? I was disconnected from my heart, but it also turned out that I had an undiagnosed heart situation. Now that's a lot better. But my physical heart was reflecting what was happening to me emotionally, but I do believe my emotions were imprinting on the physical heart. And this is what happened. So they always talk about to balance, wear jade, eat green vegetables, energize. So of course, any movement is always good. And then you want to get as much green in your environment as possible. And if you're just feeling down, go bring an outdoor plant in, get a picture of a plant, do something, but you could also step outside and get grounded, get connected into nature, and just allow yourself to be energized by that. Now, I'm a tree hugger from way back, but also Richard Dotts talks about this, that you can connect into the energy of plants, and you can just think about, like, we have a big, beautiful pecan tree, but we've got this that's probably about 100 years old in the backyard, and it's got a lot of energy. It's very stately. It's the one that created the 9 other pecan trees. But we have got this chatty little mulberry tree out here. And I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do it, where you go up to the mulberry to a tree, and there's the branch, and the branch is a little bit away, and you say, "Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Touch my hand." And the branch will move down and touch your hand. Have you done this? It's crazy. It's crazy. This thing loves to talk. It's like you get out there and you feel the vibe and the energy. And I get giggling and happy when I'm just hanging out with this silly little mulberry tree. But he talks about this. And I remember when I used to go for walks, and there was this big, gorgeous tree near my walk, but I couldn't get over to it. But every morning when I would go on that walk, I would stop and I would imagine I would just start loving that tree. And I would just start feeling energy like, I just love you. You're so beautiful. I love you. And what I want to manifest today, because I'm starting my business, is a new client. What I want to manifest today is this. And I could feel the energy being returned to me. So I don't know if you like playing in nature or talking to trees or anything like that, but I highly recommend this, and that will absolutely open it. And what if it's just a mental exercise? What if you just is something you're making up and it just makes you feel okay? That's good enough. You don't have to believe it actually is a real thing. I'm going to give you permission to doubt it, but just try it, okay? Because it was amazing, okay? So when we are talking about the chakras, and this is affected, okay, when we're talking about our vibration, this matters because, again, when we are looking at the 4th dimension of our heart, and of love, joy, unity, kinship, and peace, then we have the identities. And this is the key piece that I wanted to show you here. This is not my document, and I can't find the source. If I can find the source, it's one of these things I've had forever. But I want you to look at the 2 identities, the positive archetype and the negative archetype on here. On the positive is the lover. We love ourselves. We're free spirit, generous, happy, and in touch with our feelings. And there's this sense of movement, of flow. If you're feeling stuck, that is telling you that you are in this other archetype of an actor, where you're hiding your dark feelings, got hidden agendas, dominance, incapable of intimacy. I mean, does this sound like what could be happening? Like, if you're in the United States, like, are we noticing that vibe? Right, we're definitely noticing that. And then the other thing is, what's the evidence of it being happy and balanced is that we have this capacity to form loving bonds. By the way, I'm already in love with all y'all. Thank you for listening and being with me tonight. But I want you to understand too that, I'm sorry, I'm pointing to the thing that's probably actually right here for you. In our energy body, we have different levels of energy coming out, okay? And so we can have an energy or an emotional block at any point, But very often, just being in the awareness, what did we say at the beginning? If we are in the awareness of it and we can be present, right, with what? With love, and saying between knowing and not knowing, what? Let there only be love. We can shift it. Now, sometimes if we can't get out of our head, if we can't find it, if we have our own blind spot, that's why you want to work with somebody like me. I had a new, I had somebody the other day and she wanted to do a reading. And the first thing is like, we got to do energy work on you right away. And so that's, we did that before we could even get to the answers. Okay, I'm going to take a little sip of water. We've got about 10 more minutes, then we're going to take a break. I'm a little behind. I talked too much, I guess. I'm going to do a heart chakra healing for the group right now. If right now you don't have to type in the thing, but just say, I receive. I'm going to be doing Reiki energy, and I'm going to be holding this intention for the opening of your heart. The reason that I'm doing this for you in the group tonight is so that you can be open in that heart chakra to receive the download from your higher consciousness, and so that that can be received at every level of your being. Okay, so this is just going to take a minute. I just love you. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to put my hand right on your heart, and I'm just going to be with it for just a moment. And some words may come up, but right now I just want you to know that I see the heart before me. I see your heart before me. Remember to breathe. As I'm doing this work, I'm tuning into you and your heart and its alignment to the universal heart of the universe. Some of you have been holding on to grief because it was the only way you had to still hold that relationship of the loved one who's no longer here. Could we just let the love that you had, and this actually never leaves, love never dies, could we go ahead and release that grief? Thank you. Any anger or bitterness, thank you. Ooh. The weight on your heart because you're seeing the suffering of the world. We're going to raise the vibration of your heart. Oh. Receiving, sending, receiving, sending. There you go. Receiving, sending. There it went. There it is. Thank you. And now, with your permission, I'm just going to do a direct download from Source on what it looks like and feels like to live, move, and breathe in the experience of pure love. Thank you. It's done. It's done. It's done. Thank you. All right, this is my book. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love, love, love. Ooh. Part of what we're about to do is we are going to be entering a portal. What's different for us tonight is very often when we meditate, we go up, we make a command, and then we state what we want. I take you through a visualization, we expand out, and then we come back in gratitude. On entering this portal, this lion's gate that we're about to go through, this is a decision that you're going to be leaving behind that old identity, and you're going to release everything, whatever needs to be healed or released or whatever. We're just going to let it go so that you're free to step into that greater version of yourself. Okay, it's a decision. And right now, I just want to invite you to check in with yourself. Like, am I really willing to leave behind my old identity of someone who struggles, who doesn't have enough, that everything has to be hard, and I feel like I'm just at the edge of my purpose all the time? Are you willing to leave that behind? There we go. So when you're invited to step through the portal tonight, you're going to step through, and part of what's going to happen is literally I'm going to be walking you through a DNA activation. I'm going to be taking you through to where we're going to be activating any unused strands. There's supposedly some hidden strands, invisible strands that are going to be activated, and they assist in longevity. But this is also the DNA that is going to contain all the programming for health, youth, and vitality, but also a restoration of your, what do I call this? I'm just going to call it your quantum self. Okay, this is you and your fully realized self. So we're going to be doing a DNA activation. Again, if there's a, Bruce Lipton talks about this, and who is it that talks about, I can see this doctor, Judge Spinza, talks about turning DNA on and off. We're going to be turning on your master DNA strands tonight, okay? And what will that do? We're going to be jumping into a whole new timeline. We're already going through a lot of shifts, but you're going to be in, right, and there's a belief that John Willem Melchizedek talks about, that we're in these different frequencies. It's very much one's on top of another, like if you could think about musical notes on a chart. We're going to be jumping into the timeline of where all of this is easy and more natural for you. Does it mean you're going to have challenges? Yes, you're still going to have challenges. Life is still going to happen, but you're going to be meeting it from a whole new perspective. You're going to be meeting it in a vibration of love. You're going to be meeting it in confidence, knowing that you have all the skills and abilities and resources that you need to meet any challenge, and that you're going to have all the love and help and support that you need in any given moment. And more than that, you're going to be that person. It sounds a lot, right? But you want to accept that? Is that who you want to be? That's who I'm working for. That's what I want to be. Okay? So we're literally going to be on a new energetic timeline. Last thing before we take our break, have you ever seen a chart like this? Now, for years, when Asara and I taught Commanding Wealth and the One Command Technique, we talk about going into the brainwaves. And the brainwaves that were talked about and evident at that time were everything from beta, our ordinary thinking, and then we might go into visualization and relaxation, and a lot of healing happens in alpha. When we close our eyes and roll our eyes up as if we're trying to look up through the top of our head, we're actually lowering our brainwave. We're disconnecting from our ordinary thinking, and we're going into the theta brainwave. Now, are you noticing all these beautiful skills and abilities that are activated? These are different levels of consciousness that you're able to access intentionally by simply directing your eyes, rolling your eyes up, and we're going to be doing some particular breathing. But there's two brain waves. Now, one is, I want to mention the gamma too, because that's the one that integrates everything together, brings all the different parts together. Like if you were to think about, we have this cup of delicious cherry limeade and Sonic. There is a lot of, did you realize how many different parts of the brain that we have to access to get this information? One, we have brought up everything we know about cups. We've linked the words together. We know about the Sonic songs and logos and commercials. We know what cherry is, what ice is. We put it together, and you could probably imagine what a cherry limeade would taste like, and then you would know how to clean it up if it got spilt on you, like it did earlier today on me. And there's all this information, right? All the different parts, and it's all in different parts of our brain. When we're in gamma, it brings it all together into a cohesive image, and we're able to speak and take action and have memory about it and know in all of our resources. Well, look at this bottom one that's purple. The lambda, mystical manifestations, perceptions of parallel realities. Look how high and tight those waves are. That's your brainwave operating very fast at a very high frequency. And that is us absolutely outside of our ordinary reality. Now, all of this is happening at exactly the same time. The other is this epsilon. And epsilon is very slow, and it's actually kind of circular. And when we're in this brainwave, just the bare life functions are happening. Everything's kind of offline, right? But this slowest one and the fastest one actually have a lot in common, because what it does is it's taking us out of our ordinary thinking into a more expansive state of being, and our body is absolutely being taken care of. So the way that we're able to get our heart, our chakras opened and balanced, we're going to be activating our DNA. We're commanding to be in this new reality. We're going to receive from here. We're jumping into portals. We're going into different timelines. We're going to be able to do this because we're going to be intentionally directing our brainwaves through the direction of our eyes, and meditation, and our breathing. It's going to take us into that higher vibration. Who's excited? Are we excited? All that's happening very soon. We are a little past the time, but what I'm going to do is we are going to take a little break so that everybody has a chance to get a drink of water, use the bathroom, get resituated. I need to stand up and move a little bit. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we're going to come back and we're going to go through the one command, okay? Process together. All right, so I'm going to see you in a few minutes, okay? Okay. Checking to see. Coming on back in.
Kathryn, the sound is off a little bit. It's like it's kind of echoey or something.
Okay, hang on just a minute. I'm trying to get back to my view even. There we go.
Oh, it's better now.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I turned that off. Yeah, a little pause that refreshes. There we go. Did that help? Give us a chance to get reset. We've been doing a lot of work, guys. I know it just sounds like I'm talking, but we are working. We are preparing to go into our activation. So what we do is we are going to be going through this 6-step process. Just what we're going to be doing, if you aren't familiar with the one command, I'm just going to be walking you through the visualization, and I'm going to be directing your eyes. Part of that is going to include, as we're coming back down, I'll be directing you when to relax your eyes, when to breathe, and then I'm just going to be taking you through some different imagery. And then we're going to be coming back down into our own body, okay? We are going to start with commanding for a particular statement, but I will probably add some commands. But right now, I want to start with, I know we are doing an activation and we want to move into our higher self, and we're doing everything to manifest for the future year. But you may have a particular need right now. And I want you to know that what you need right now matters. And if you want to start with a command, that would be the I don't know how. Usually I showed that slide before. I'm sorry. We start with this command of I don't know how and you would state what you need. So if you need healing, if you need money right now, if you have an immediate thing, we're going to start with the immediate thing. If you need new clients, if you need clarity, you need some creativity, you just need some signs, whatever it is, you can command for that first, and then we're going to command for the greater thing. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right. So I don't have any music for this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to close our eyes and ground. And just picture, visualize, or imagine that you're like a tree and that you have long roots. And those roots are coming from the base of your spine, and they're going deep, deep, deep down into the earth. And it may help to picture, visualize, or imagine a particular kind of tree. Or just know you're a tree. And if there's any tension, any worries, if you're just feeling any density, stress, just let it go right down into the earth to be healed and transformed. And I want to invite you to imagine that at the base of your feet, which are flat on the ground, that earth energy, that creative life force energy, is starting to be absorbed into your body up through your feet. And just imagine or notice that energy, that creative life force energy, is coming right up your body, up your knees, into your hips. Now let's make sure that we have plenty of support for your lower back. Allow that energy to come right up your spine, into your shoulders, down to your elbows, into your wrist and all your fingers. But also just be aware of that energy lighting up each chakra. that beautiful ruby red root chakra, that orange navel chakra, your belly button, right at your solar plexus, that glorious yellow chakra. Bringing your attention to your heart, and that green chakra, up into your throat. Ooh. This may be you, but I'm noticing that there's some reverse polarity in some people's throats that is stopping them from receiving the information. It's blocking their telepathy. So with your permission, I'm going to go ahead and reverse the polarity of that throat chakra. Thank you. So that you can start, your telepathy can come back on and you can start hearing from the world. And people will hear and understand you better. That energy coming up into your third eye, right between your eyebrows, and right to the top of your head, that white crown chakra. And just as you're becoming aware of that opening and that balancing, I want to invite you to picture, visualize, or imagine that there's this pole of light coming straight down from the universe that contains spiritual life force energy, and it's going right down through the top of your head, down two channels on either side of your spine, aligning with the root of that tree. Yep, it's going right down into the earth. And that creative life force energy and that spiritual life force energy are starting to meet and mix and blend as you bring your attention to your heart and you focus on your purpose and what it is that you want to create. What do you want to manifest? And be able to see August 8th, 2025. That's what we're aligning to. And I know you have some immediate needs. And right now we're just going to align to the master in you. And the master in you, I see you, I greet you, and I bless you. And just allow that heart light to shine. And in your mind's eye, or you may be able to perceive intuitively or energetically, everyone on the call and everyone who's listening to the call in the future, their heart lights lighting up. And together we're forming a circle. And just witness how that light and that energy are intensified. And some may have a big, bright, brilliant green heart, and some may just have a teeny little flicker, but just be present to it until the heart lights are balanced out. As we come to this gathering under the stars, celebrating the Lion's Gate. And right now, in the center of the circle, I want to just invite you to become aware of that energy coming directly from Orion and Sirius, shining right down into the group. And I also want to invite you to become aware of, just like the three pyramids lined up, there are groups all over the planet right now, because there's only now, aligning with the same intention for their healing, for the healing of the planet, to raise the vibration, and to manifest a life as a master creator, living in a beautiful environment, in an amazing atmosphere that easily attracts to you everything you want, need, and desire. Breathe into that. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, that greater potential. Out through your mouth, everything that's not that. And just allow your heart to expand even more as you breathe in and out. The activation process has now begun. Eyes closed. Very softly roll your eyes up as if you're trying to look up through the top of your head. And right now, you have a whole lot of cares. You have a whole lot of things that need to be taken care of. Maybe your own body is needing help and support. Maybe your bank account is too low. Maybe that stack of bills is too high. Maybe the challenges that you're facing as you are creating the life you desire and deserve are too great. And whatever that is, I'm going to invite you right now. This is your chance to gather it, to picture, visualize, or imagine whatever that representation of that thing is that has become a burden, that is a heavy care, that is a need that's greater than what you feel you can take care of right now. And I want to invite you to just send it up, up, up that pole of light. And you're going to send your consciousness up behind it, up, up, up. And as we're going through up this pole of light and we're going up, up, up higher into the universe, suddenly we are surrounded by the velvety black void of space. Break through that darkness and into the light. And right now, just send those worries, those cares, even the representation of your own body. Send it to the greater and higher power. You may call it God, Father, Mother God, the universe, your higher self, Mother Mary, Jesus, Buddha, whatever you call that greater self. And say, I release this to you. I surrender it all to you to heal it, to restore it, and to return it to me fulfilled. And for that, I thank you. And now as you go free, let yourself go up higher, higher, higher. Eyes are still up. And we're going to do a series of commands. And the first is about what is your need? And we're going to state it in the positive. I don't know how and state what it is that you want. I only know is so now, and I am fulfilled. Now just let your eyes relax for a second. Just let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. Remember to breathe, because what we're going to do in this expansion, just allow your mind to expand, allow your energy to expand, to open yourself to a greater potential. We're going to make energetic room for the universe to bring the solution to you. Perfect. Roll your eyes back up. Here's the first command. I don't know how. I receive the blessings of the Lion's Gate that empower me to manifest by my command. I only know I do now, and I am fulfilled. Let that go. Remember to breathe. Eyes should still be up, and I don't know how. I am activating within me, the new programs, the new karma, the new DNA, whatever is necessary for me to embody the person I must become in order to manifest the life I know I'm capable of creating. I only know it so now, and I am fulfilled. And you can relax your eyes now. Just let that expand, expand, expand. There's one more, and I don't know how. I am now activating any dormant DNA strands that are necessary for the fulfillment of my purpose and my mission on this planet. I only know that I am now turning those dormant DNA strands on now. On, on, on. And I don't know how I am pulling and releasing any DNA strands, anything that's residing in my morphogenic field that no longer serves me. It could be from my soul that I'm carrying in my energetic body, could be in my own karma. I only know I release it all now and I go free. And again, breathe deeply, expand. Keep your eyes closed. Now feel yourself coming into a different level of consciousness. You may have a sense that you're still and you're right here, but you're present in a whole new way. You may feel that you are rising up, or you may just simply feel still. And whatever it is perfect. But right now, the gate to your blessings, to that new life that you've commanded for, that you wrote down, that you wanted to manifest, is on the other side of this gate. And I'm going to invite you right now to enter the gate. I want to invite you to become aware of this cosmic energy. And though the stars themselves, Sirius and Orion, it's lit up in the sky, Orion's belt, you're also activating the power of the sun to reveal to you the truth of your power. Allow yourself to expand and grow into that realization and into that knowing. And right now, just witness. Look, imagine you're looking down into your life and you're seeing your body, but it looks better. You're looking at your house. It may be familiar, but it seems to have a different vibe. You look at where you keep that stack of bills, and that there's where are those bills? They're gone. You may be checking online or opening up an envelope that has your banking and financial statements. Where did all those zeros come from? Check your calendar. What new plans are on your calendar, or what are you free of now? Witness all good things coming to you. And I want to invite you right now to picture, visualize, or imagine 3 little scenes. If you are embodying yourself as the creator and you were manifesting everything that you wrote down earlier, what would that look like? Could you imagine yourself having a bill come in and you go, okay? Or could you imagine getting the news that bill, you don't owe that bill anymore, which happens a lot to me. If there's somebody that you were having difficulty with, could you imagine sitting and having a cup of coffee and laughing and enjoying their company? If your body is broken and hurting, could you imagine seeing yourself telling the story about how you used to hurt, but now you feel great? Can you hear yourself tell the story about, I just had a big check come in out of the blue? Create 3 little scenes. Imagine how you're going to feel and ask yourself, how am I going to feel? How great will I feel when I see that I am truly embodying that? Like, I was delighted. I was first shocked and surprised, right? And then I was grateful when that lady was yelling at me. I was grateful that I got to have a new experience of myself. And then I was excited about the new things that could happen. Are you going to feel surprised? Are you going to be grateful? And are you going to be excited to see what you can create next? I bet you are. Now feel yourself coming back down in your body, and as you're coming down, begin to receive it all with gratitude. And as this greater state of being begins to arrive, and you are getting a direct download from Source Mind of everything that you need, everything that anyone's ever known about what you need to know, you're getting a direct download from the Akashic records, from the collective consciousness right now, from all time and eternity. And as that begins to arrive, just let the old small ideas, the fears, hey, the cellular construction, structure that was holding the brokenness and the pain, just let it all unwind, unwind, unwind. And then just allow new ideas to begin to rewind, and integrate. Now you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them, but do an internal check. When you think about manifesting that statement you made about what you want to manifest in 2025, what do you know now that maybe you didn't know before? Maybe as the result of our time together. Just do a little check-in. Someone shared with me that it felt like first all the doors were closed and now the doors were open. There's greater possibility. What are you noticing? Now we have the workbook to make notes. I want to encourage you to listen to this again, go through it again, and your commands may actually change. But also make some notes. It helps because you're doing your brain writing. And then, of course, that 7th step is action, inspired action. And this is the state of being we actually want to live from. If you're noticing that you're not getting a signal, it may be wait until the signal. But I do remember a time when I first had realized, hey, I'm ready to leave this job. I want to do my business full time. I want this. I don't want to make excuses anymore. I want to have a practice. I want to teach classes. And I was so ready to jump. And my intuition just kept saying, wait, wait, wait. I'm going, okay. And then all I could do is keep getting more prepared. And that's what you do. And then the moment happened, it was like a miracle. It worked out better than I imagined. I was literally at a training. I'm using up one of my vacation days where I had paid for the training by pre-selling a class, and my job called me and said, Kathryn, we're sorry, but we sold the property and we don't have another job for you. But the new people want to hire you temporarily, and they'll pay. They said, find out for me what you want for a contract rate. So I doubled my hourly rate and worked for them. And I came back home and I had that class and I had already collected enough money to carry me through the next 3 months. It all worked perfect. That's how it's going to be for you. If you don't know what to do, get prepared for that next step. Okay? How was this? I would love to get your feedback. What happened for you? Let's see, I'm going to tune in here. Who'd like to share? Let's see, you can just unmute. Is that Sandra right there? Amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, when you talked about what you want for like August of next year, that
Mhm.
kind of like made it more tangible
Mhm.
instead of, oh, I want this someday, I want this someday. It's like, oh, on this day next year, where do you want to be? And anyway, this was great. And thank you.
Thank you. I always appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thanks for inviting your friend too. Layden saying, wow, great session. Thank you. Thank you. Lenore saying that was wonderful. I feel much more positive about my living situation, improving. You're going to laugh. Lenora, I'm just going to speak this over. You are going to laugh when it comes up, and it's so easy. You're going to wonder, why did I keep waiting? But I just see you in your own place and so happy. Like, I just see you like standing at the window and just smiling, right? I see the mug in your hand. I don't know, but you're just like blissed out. I'm getting goosebumps. So I just affirm that's absolutely happening for you. All right. My own home, a small dog, creating jewelry. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's absolutely doable. Okay. Anybody else have anything to share or any feedback? Carmen saying she loved that. Oh, Carmen's friend Michelle. Michelle, thank you for joining us. Be sure and have Carmen send me your email so I can send you the recording directly. Okay. Anybody else? Whew. We've been on a journey together. So we've been dealing with a lot of energy. Right now, with your permission, I want to ground you. So let me just ground everyone. I'm going to smooth up your beautiful aura. Ooh, literally, you guys look sparkly. I'm seeing like the colors in my shirt, but you just look so beautiful and sparkly. These dip you up. They're telling me to light the flame. I don't know. I saw a purple flame, so I'm going to go ahead and light the flame. Thank you so much. All right, my darling. Hey, I just want to remind you, if you have not joined the weekly circle yet, I'll tell you it's great. We are growing. I do this every Tuesday at noon Central Time. It's free. I send out the recording if you can't make it, but we hold the space for you. This is the virtual commanding will circle. We talk about wealth, but we have been having some beautiful physical healings and emotional healing has been going on, and I've been getting some beautiful emails. And then if anything has come up for you and you feel like you need to work on this at a deeper level, if this has helped you come to the point you feel like you're ready to take action on it, I do have a special offer I'm going to be sending out for everybody, for just the people that were on the group tonight. It's a very excellent offer, but basically to where we're dealing with a three session process so that we can help get this integrated, and then we can get some resources built and help you manifest the life you desire. So all you need to do to book that is go to, I'll put the link in here, but this is a free call, and we get together and we just have a little short chat and we talk about your situation. And if I feel like I can help you, I will definitely, we'll talk about the next steps. But a lot of people say just having the conversation, they already feel a big shift and get a lot of clarity in it. So it's there in the bit.ly Big Vision Coach. Okay. All right, my love. I'm going to go ahead and let you go so that we can integrate, be gentle with yourself for this next few days. Good food, good water. You may need a little extra rest, and of course, be sure and connect with nature. And I guess that's it for me tonight. Oh, Layden saying, feeling so wonder, whole body spinning, feeling the energy. Jay is saying, thank you so much, feel very loved. Lenore saying, thank you. Oh, I love you too. All right, my loves. Until next time, this is Kathryn Perry, the Big Vision Coach. I witness your mastery. Bye-bye, everybody.